What's up, everyone? We are back, and today we are doing my strategy on how I farmed my character. I got my Severed in Sleep for my Poison SRS, the Covenant 6 Link, my Darkness and Throne Belt, and other things like that within the first couple of days in the simplest way possible. So we're going to be going over that real quick. Make sure you are like and subscribed if you are not. Now, what I did simply was harvest. Harvest is incredibly simple. If you already know the mechanic, you know how easy it is. If you don't worry. It's going to take me about 1 minute to explain it. But first, let's go over the tree that I used. Now, there are two variations of this tree. This is the one that I did first. And the main thing that is going to change is going up the middle. And instead of going around to the side, I went through the middle to get the Kirak chance missions. This helps a ton for Atlas completion, giving you a chance at an extra Kirak mission. So you can do some of the maps. You have not completed the bonus objective, you can get that extra point. Now, what I highly suggest doing is going as fast as possible to get the unwavering vision. These extra 20 points in the beginning help tremendously for your progression, and they have the downside of scarabs cannot be found on your maps. Now, I can safely say, unless they buff the drop rate and drop chance of the more sought-after scarabs, that the scarabs are not really worth it to farm. They are fun, they are new, but in the beginning when you just kind of want currency to get your build going a little quicker, they are pointless to try and farm for. These 20 points are more than worth it. After that, it's pretty standard. You can go down here and get the harvest chance very quickly. This, I believe, gives you 60-70% chance already to get harvest, paired with a couple of the other nodes that give you harvest chance. You guarantee harvest on your maps every time. As you can see over here, it should say just flat out that your maps contain a harvest. Yeah, there it is. Your map contains the Sacred Grove. It's not a chance anymore. It is just guaranteed every map. Now, the amount of life force dropped in the harvest does scale off the quantity on your maps. So that is why I do this complete circle, as well as the 3 nodes in the middle, giving you increased quantity for the harvest that drops. And the last thing that you are going to want to do is go over and make it so certain colors are less likely to appear. So you want to put points into the ones that are worth the least. Now, this is going to have to make you check the life force value of things. Now, I used Awaken POE Trade. Link is in the description. It is a program that when you install it and put your POE at windowed mode, windowed full screen, you cannot have it at full screen or you will not see this window. You can hold Control and hit D on something, and it is going to price check it for you. So what you can do is you can price check the colors, see what's worth the most. So this one's 7,500, the blue is for a divine, and you can see the yellow is 6,700 on average for a divine, which means the yellow life force is worth the most right now. Purple is almost never worth the most. In fact, it's worth the least. It takes a whole 8,300 to trade that in for a divine orb. Now, you can also trade these in for a chaos, especially in the beginning when you're just trying to get your stuff. So you can see here that 90 purple life force, or around 85 you can probably sell it at, is worth a chaos. Right now I'm at the point where I'm just saving up till I could sell them for a divine orb. So whichever one is worth the most, namely right now it is the yellow, you are going to want to make it so that that is the one that you are making appear the most by not putting points into this. Now, the variation of this and the quicker way to get to the unwavering vision to get the extra points is skipping the Kirak nodes in the middle. It's going to save you a couple extra points because you can just start going into harvest a little bit quicker and go around the right side of the map and go straight up into unwavering vision. You could always go through. Eventually you're going to want to take these, but you can go up even quicker to get unwavering vision. Then you can start putting points into around here and into here. That is an even quicker way, doing this last again. But again, these Kirak missions in the beginning, if you're doing this as a starting strategy and you don't have a whole lot of points, these Kirak missions help a ton for map completion. So this is the other variant. I'm going to put both variants in the description for links to the POE planner for you guys. Now again, like I said, quantity affects the amount of life force that you get. So you want to run maps with the highest amount of quality that you can, namely magic at least, or rare if you can do them. With mods you could do that give you more quantity. It's only a 42% quantity map, but I'm going to run it. It's tier 12. I can do tier 16 and stuff. But the tier of the map does not matter as much as a lot of the other mechanics. I think the tier does affect how often you can get the harvest boss or the tier 4 plants, and that is good, but it's not going to change too much. It is still a relatively rare occurrence, so even though it helps and they do drop a lot of life force, it is a rare occasion. Because the harvest is guaranteed with those nodes, we do not have to take the harvest map device that you modifier that you are going to unlock eventually. I'd usually just do quantity. You can do fortune favors the brave once you start getting some currency going to get an extra, torment spirits or a blight or a ritual or something like that, just to kind of shake it up. And it's always good to do as many things as possible that you feel comfortable with. If you don't know the mechanic that well, it may be fun to do, but if you're just looking to make currency, it might be better just to skip a lot of mechanics. Now, when you get to the harvest, you're going to see this icon on your minimap. It looks like this. It is called the Sacred Grove. You're going to go in here. I usually just put a town portal down just in case. And what you're looking for is the most blue monsters. You can see this has 2. You can see this has none. The blue monsters are the ones that are guaranteed to drop life force. If they are white, you want to ignore them. So here, this is a no-brainer. This has 2 yellow monsters. You're going to hit it twice. It is going to wilt this plant. Now, with the 1 node, the Heart of the Grove up here gives a 10% chance that the other crop will not wilt. And once you finish this one, then you can do the other one. But you can see they are paired off in pairs of 2. So once you do one of them, there's a 90% chance the other one is going to go away. So you always want to pick and do the one first that you want to do. It's going to spawn some monsters. I'm just going to try not to die here for the sake of the video. It'll spawn some white monsters. Then I'll start doing a little bit tougher monsters. And then lastly, it'll spawn the rare monsters, which will then drop the crystallized life force. Pick that up. Go to the next set of nodes looking for the higher blue. This one has 1 blue, but it has 7 whites. These whites do have a better chance of dropping some life force over the gray. In fact, I'm not even sure if the gray can drop force. If they do, it's only, 10 or 12 life force at a time. So I'm going to pick the one that has a 1 and a 7 over the 1 and the 4. Kill these guys as fast as possible. Pick up the life force and then move on. Now, there are situations that are going to come up where there will be no blue monsters on a pair of crops. That's not the case here, so we do the purple there. This one, if there is, I would skip it. It's kind of a waste of time, just for at most maybe 10, 15 life force. It's much quicker just to do the blue ones that you can do and then to move on. Now the harvest is done. We can see we got 115 purple, 113 blue, and 120 yellow. Actually, not that great of a harvest. You usually get a little bit more than that, but again, it is a chance by how much the which monsters drop life force in the end. And also, we have nodes where there's a chance for the life force drop could be duplicated. All of that kind of compounds. You can get better one. Even with this, you could see that was 2 chaos worth. That was about 2 chaos worth. That was about 1.3. So we got about 5.5 to 6 chaos off of that run. So not a great one, but still 6 chaos just for about 20, or not 20 seconds, like 2 to 3 minutes of work. Not bad at all. Now, when you're selling these, you do not need a exotic tab or the currency tab to sell these. Any old tab that you are selling stuff will work. If you're selling it for chaos, remember you can look up. This is worth almost exactly 2 because they're around 60 per, and I have 120. So if you want to sell this for chaos, if you need a chaos really bad, how you do that is 2 chaos for 120. So how many of the orbs you want go on the outside, and the amount you're selling goes on the inside in between it. And then you would hit OK. That would list it on the trade website, and you sell that for some chaos. The life force sells very quickly, especially if you price it a little bit more competitive. Throw an extra 50 or 100 on top of, say, the highest divine price, or 100 on top of a 50, 60 chaos trade. It will sell very quickly. The yellow is getting more expensive, I'm assuming, because more people are getting divination cards, and they use the Hoarder Crafting Station to try and gamble with the divination cards to try and get stacks, things like Apothecary for a Mage Blood, or a Doctor card for a Headhunter, and things like that. Now, what you do after this as far as farming strategy is really up to you. I'm going to make my more mid-game, mid-range farming video pretty soon. If you caught a peek of my tree, you could see I've been doing Ritual. Ritual is still terrible for making currency. It's just one of my favorite mechanics. I love the rush of the pull the slot machine every time you re-roll it. But yes, it still sucks. If you're trying to make currency, I do not recommend it. But Sometimes, perfect example here, just do what is fun for you. I make good currency off of harvest right now, and I'm not in a crazy hurry to get rich right now, so I'd rather enjoy the game a little bit more, do ritual, and mess with the league mechanic so I can get a little bit more accustomed with how that works. But just remember some of the tried and true ways to make currency. The hideout is lava. Don't spend a ton of time in your hideout just dick around and looking at things. Run maps. You aren't making currency if you aren't getting in there and killing things. So that's basically the video, guys. Very, very simple way to make currency, especially in the beginning. I am enjoying the league so far. There are some high negatives and some high positives, like the quality of life. The higher maps do get incredibly rippy. I hear T17 maps are a huge barrier. They're way too hard, but there's a solid chance they're going to change a lot of this. I saw on the POE forums, they're going to be changing a lot of things about the league mechanic, and I imagine they're going to tune in it a little bit better. But overall, this has been a pretty fun league, especially with the quality of life changes. I'm thoroughly enjoying a lot of those. So make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments how you're liking this league so far. Make sure you get followed over on twitch.tv/SafeOnTalk, where I'm streaming a lot, especially in the early league, and we all hang out. I have some good talks about the league, and make sure you join over on Discord. A lot of helpful people in there. We are relatively active, especially during league start, so get in there as well. Well, let me know any questions you have, guys, in the comments or on the Discord, and I will gladly try and answer them when I can, and we will catch you on the next one.